Well, greetings to you. I think a word is due on the forthcoming general election on the 4th of July. Now, we all know, don't we, that all we're going to do is get another World Economic Forum stooge. Out goes Goldman Sachs WEF stooge Sunak and his cronies, and in comes Kier Starmer and his WEF cronies. And he's been quite upfront. You have to give Kier Starmer credit where it is due, don't you? He has been quite upfront about the fact that he believes Davos is his responsibility. Davos is his guiding light, not Parliament.
Let us just ask you quickly. You have to choose now between Davos or Westminster.
Davos.
So why he bothers to try and get into it, I don't really know. But we know this is to be the case. And of course, a whole nother bunch of policemen will come in. Parliament's virtually now bereft of anybody who even pretends at conviction politics. And you've seen that by the attendance at the excess deaths debates that have been going on, so on and so forth. You've seen that. They simply don't turn up. They're not interested. They collect their 90 grand a year, their index-linked pensions and all the rest of it, and make no contribution whatsoever. It's supposed to be representative democracy. I don't know who they represent, but I haven't met a single soul who believes that Parliament represents them in any way. Now, Parliament historically should have people in it who are prepared to stick their neck out and call out the truth. Now, I'm pleased that Nigel Farage is standing, and I hope he wins at Clacton because he is one of those. So is Andrew Bridgen, who's done yeoman work on the excess deaths, fighting Big Pharma, so on and so forth, and deep state and the establishment. And of course, George Galloway, who's a bit Marmite for most characters I know, but he needs to be in Parliament because nobody else is asking relevant questions about situations in the Middle East. So there are three. But out of over 650, it's pitiful, isn't it? It's pitiful. We're going to end up maybe with 3, 4, 5, possibly at the most, people who are prepared to tell the truth in Parliament out loud and bang the drum for the sort of things that we care about in our pubs and our clubs and our homes and our families. What are they doing? Mass immigration, of course, being number one on the list, I would argue. Destroying our culture, destroying our way of life quite deliberately. And a word of advice to Nigel is, this is not an accident, this is not incompetence, they're being brought across quite deliberately. Lord knows how many times I've said this. Stop pretending, we all need to stop pretending that it's some form of incompetence or home office malfunction. This is quite deliberate. This is quite deliberate, and it's been going on for years, and it is going to slowly destroy us as it's destroying Germany and it's destroying France and now destroying North America. So I wish all those three the best because they are desperately needed in Parliament. And if you want a tip, have a look at the individual. Have a look at the individual and see what he's got to say to you on the step. In my constituency in Howden and Halton Price, my MP is David Davis, is a very good constituency MP. And I'm voting for him not because I'm voting Conservative, because they're a shower of shit. I'm voting for him because he has one particular principle that I want. I want somebody calling in the House of Parliament. And for me, it happens to be the facilitation of you going into the next world or wherever that may be, going into that gentle night and assisted dying bill so that when my time comes, and it's cut short, perhaps with the assistance of a member of my family, they don't go to prison. It is a scandalous situation. Of course, I've said it before. If you did it to an animal, you'd go to prison. So it's that alone. So speak to your candidates, and you won't agree with everything they say. How could you possibly? But work out what's important to you and your family. And are they going to bring it about in Parliament? And that's where your vote should go. Take no notice of the red, blue, green label because that's bullshit. That's bullshit. That just really means that they've got a great big rosette on. They're a bit of an idiot, actually, and can't think for themselves. But there are one or two. So do a bit of homework. Or don't vote. Don't encourage them. As most of you know, my work is very heavily independently research-based. and I get my information from all over the world. It would help if you press the subscribe button and the little bell next to it, because the more subscribers I have, the more likely it is that international independent research institutes will share their material with me. It's most helpful, and then of course I automatically share it with you. So, surprise, won't cost you anything. Thank you very much.